Hello, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. My name is Deb from DG Reads and this is my furry sidekick Kylie. And we are here because it's time to pick our final Prompt Ball TBR of 2025. Now, in December, we do things a little bit differently. For the last, I don't know how many years, it's been quite a while, I've been doing an advent calendar with reading prompts for the days leading up to Christmas. And I have a lot of fun doing that. It's a little chaotic because I can't plan too far ahead. And yet, somehow it always works. This year, I decided to go with a little bit of extra chaos. So here's the thing. We are going to pick a Prompt Ball TBR like normal and come out with however many prompts we naturally come out with. And then once I figure that out, I'm going to pull some more prompts. And we are going to blindly put all of these prompts into an advent calendar. In years past, I've been recycling an old tea advent calendar for my book prompts and just using paper slips for prompts. This year, I invested in a new advent calendar. This one's big enough that I can put a prompt ball in each of these drawers and I can pull the prompt. So I'm going to know some of the prompts going into it because they're the ones we're going to go over today and pick books for today. And there's also going to be prompts in here I won't know. I'm going to shuffle them all up, put them in whatever order they happen to go in. And that's how we're going to go with it. In the past, let me put this down because it's a little awkward and glittery. In the past, I've had slips in there like super short book or skip a day or those types of things where I have the option to help myself out if I'm falling behind. I don't necessarily get that with the prompt ball machine because I don't know what all the prompts are going to be that I'm pulling out. So in the moment, I might be kind to myself. This is the season of giving after all. If something I pull out of here is just plain impossible, like there's no way I can get it because the library doesn't have it, I don't own it, something like that, maybe I'll give myself like 2 passes out of the entire set of 24. But without further ado, let's talk about last month. Last month, I nearly finished my TBR. There was one book, my nonfiction book that was a prompt ball pick. I couldn't get the audiobook for it fast enough, and honestly, with the readathon I've been doing and various things, it just didn't work super well to add in extra nonfiction as much as I would have liked to for nonfiction November. So with that, I did indeed fail. But honestly, this month is the month where I actually like failing because it means there's one more prompt I'm going to pull out of here that I'm going to know in advance. Because any penalties I get today, I get to know what those prompts are. The extra quarter that I have to put in for not finishing November's TBR, that one I'll know the prompt for. So the more things I know the prompt for, the less that are going to be complete surprises come December. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pull out the 6. I've got a Kylie on my lap, which is going to make this a little more awkward, but also I don't mind having a Kylie on my lap. Turns out she abandoned me. These are my original 5, and I have one more for my not meaning my TBR. Okay, I've also gone through and pulled out the rest of the 24 quarters that I need to fill this out because I did not have enough. So for the official TBR for the month, let's pick our first December prompt. Purple. Nice easy one to start us off. I have a repeat author. So for our first prompt, we got a repeat author, and that one I am going to go with A Box Full of Darkness by Simone St. James. I am on a blog tour for this book, so I have a gifted e-arc from Berkeley, and I'm super excited because I've really enjoyed her books in the past. This one has to do, I think, with a haunted house. We have 3 siblings we're following. Their brother disappeared years ago. Something is bringing them back, and they are experiencing something supernatural. Number 2, yellow, a book from a publisher. My next prompt was a book I received from a publisher, and for this one, I'm going to be picking up The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. This one I recently received from Bramble, and I also got the audio arc as well. So I'm excited to check this one out. I've been hearing good things. It comes out in January and it is a debut author. So I did recently say with the Goodreads Choice Award when I had read none of the debuts that I need to do a better job of reading debut book. It's a sweeping epic and intimate fantasy for fans of Serpent on the Wings of Night, Song of Achilles, She Who Became the Sun, and it's an exploration of love that overcomes darkness. So I'm looking forward to picking this up. Number 3, a book that I read from PRH Audio. The next prompt, again, another publisher. This one is to read something I received from PRH Audio. And the book that I picked for this one is the second one in the Scythe series. It is A Grim Reaper's Guide to Cheating Death. This is by Maxi Dara. I really had fun with the first one. Cozy mysteries aren't quite my thing all the time, but in this case, it's quirky and fun, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm excited to pick up the second book. It's coming out on December 2nd. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to it before publication day, but I definitely want to get to it soon, so getting it on my December TBR is a good plan. In this one, we are continuing to follow the same main character. She works for the entity that employs all of the Grimms who collect the dead and so forth, and her twin brother, estranged twin brother, I believe, his file comes and she decides, no, it's not really his time yet. Book number 4 is Red. We've actually had no duplicates yet, so this being the month I want a lot of extra ones, it's not going to give it to me. Just watch. Apparently we are in publisher mode. The publisher is William Morrow for the next one. Our next prompt, again with publishers, we have William Morrow. And for this one, I'm going with The Women of Wild Hill. This is by Kristen Miller, and it is a female witchy rage book, as I understand it. We've got descendants from a line of witches who come back together to fight the men. That's really all I know about it. I have a gifted audiobook copy of this through Libro FM, and it's one I really kind of wanted to get to in November as part of my nature themed vlog that will be going up soon, but I didn't get to it for that, so I'm happy to have a place to put it in. Okay, Red, our first duplicate. A book that's on my R Fantasy bingo board, which I definitely need to make some progress on. The next prompt I got was to read a book from my R Fantasy bingo challenge, and honestly, that is one that I keep not getting to, so it's good to get the push to do it, but it's also full of a lot of really big books that are the ones left on it. So not the most ideal when you're trying to do 25 prompts in 25 days-ish, but that's okay. The book I decided to go with helps my goal of continuing series and helps me tick off a box for our fantasy, and that's going to be A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is a copy I received gifted from Del Rey. I've had it since it came out, and I feel bad that I haven't gotten to it yet. It is continuing the detective kind of fiction fantasy world. Biopunk is the prompt I'm using this for, and it is one I am definitely eager to read. This is our extra from not completing the TBR. And it's yellow, so 2 duplicates. Okay, I spoke too soon about the game being too nice to me. I gotta pick 2 prompts and then either combine them into 1 book or read 2 books. So this should be interesting with the way I'm setting this up for the advent calendar, but we do need to pick 2 more balls. This one's a green, and we are counting these as usual for the duplicates. Okay, a novella. And red. Received from Nightworms. I feel like that's combinable. I think that's doable. So let's see what I can find. And then we got a scary prompt because it was to pull 2 prompts and see if you can combine them. Thankfully, I got 2 prompts that actually combined quite well. It was to read a book for my Nightworm subscription and to read a novella. And since they do tend to, in the 2 books they send every month, often include something on the shorter side, I figured there would be something I could find. So I went with the one from the recent delivery that came in, and that is Demon Song by Kelsey Yu. This, I don't know anything about it, but it's about 160 pages. The cover is pretty striking, and I like the foiling on it. This one on the back, the blurb says, places like this have a history, desires, and this one is famished. Again, I don't know much about this one, but I do want to definitely make use of my subscription books when I can, and this one will work. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 duplicates, so we get to pull 4 more prompts, and at this point we stop counting duplicates. Now we get a blue. and are definitely doable and something I need to find room for in my December reading. For the prompt to read an arc, I have a gifted copy of My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. This is another upcoming January release that I'm really, really excited for. This follows a woman. She goes home and finds a woman there who looks almost identical to her. Her husband claims not to know her, to be married to this other woman. It's said to be a psychological thriller, and I really already want answers, and I haven't even started reading. This is a fun one. This is from Around the Year in 52 Books. It's to find a book that is somehow connected to something mentioned in the Do Re Mi song. The next prompt was an interesting one, and it's to find a connection to something in the Do Re Mi song from The Sound of Music, and now that's going to be stuck in my head all day. Sorry if I've infected you with my earworm, but the thing I'm going to go for, it's a little bit of a stretch, but I think it actually quite works. And one of the lines is a drink with jam and bread. Well, do I have jam and bread on a cover? No, but the idea is, what would you drink with jam and bread? And for me, that's going to be coffee. So the book I'm going for this one is The Naysayers. This is an upcoming release from Liz Fenton and Lisa Steinke. This is a magical realism, corporate greed, kind of quirky story, I think. I really love these authors' sense of humor. I follow them on Instagram. They're California authors. I have been supporting them and reading their books as soon as I can get my hands on them, so I was really excited to get approved for the NetGalley ARC for this. The little blurb I found says it's a work of fiction, romance, and magical realism about a woman named Megan who works at a company called Naysay Inc., where her job is to plant negative thoughts in people's minds. It sounds so interesting. I am so eager for this. Bonus prompt number 3. This is another one from Around the Year in 52 Books, and it's a book somehow connected to any of the collective nouns for animals. So the one that immediately comes to mind is A Murder of Crows. I think that's the type of idea they're going for, but I will definitely look into that. For a book that is connected to a collective word for animals, like A Murder of Crows, A Pod of Dolphins, A Herd of Sheep, there's a lot of different options, but when I was going through a list, one that jumped out at me was A School of Fish. And given that we are still kind of in fall mode a little bit right now, I wanted to get something that kind of felt a little dark academia. Not sure if I've pulled it off or not, but I definitely connected to a school. And the book I'm going to pick up is Rules for Ruin by Mimi Matthews. This is one that I wasn't entirely sure about. It is historical, which not my biggest thing right now. We've also got crows on the cover, so, you know, A Murder of Crows here as well. But it is an academy for women learning to combat the patriarchy. It's a school with a secretive aim: train young women to distract, disrupt, and discredit the patriarchy. I think that could have enough of a hook to it to really intrigue me. I have had some success with Once Upon a Book Club box and their historical fiction picks, so I am hopeful for this one. And, you know, given that it is gift-giving season, it's fun to get to go through the book and find places where I will get to open some of their gifts along the way. And then our final prompt that we will know what the prompt is. And it's to accept my next Libby hold. So with the new hold system, I think I'm going to have to go through and unsuspend like the top 10 things and figure out what the next one is that comes in. For my final prompt to read my most recent Libby hold, I'm actually not going to pick a book for that at this moment. I put some thought into it, and the problem is if I pick my most recent Libby hold right now, I might not be able to get that one when the time comes when I pull this prompt. I could pull this prompt 4 weeks from now, for all I know. I've got a week left of November and then several weeks of December. So I'm going to just kind of go into December, make sure I have a bunch of my top holds, my most available soon holds, unsuspended. So whenever I pull this prompt, I can look in the moment and figure out what my most recent Libby hold is. So no book for the final prompt yet. Speaking of the calendar process for December, I did go through and fill her on up. She's full of prompt balls, and I surprised myself by realizing this actually is a 25-day calendar, not a 24-day calendar. So Merry Christmas to me. I'm doing 25 in 25, not 24 in 24, but that's okay. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited to pull my first prompts. I did my best to kind of shuffle the balls in the container I put them in, and then also kind of put them in a little bit out of order. So I really don't know what's going to be coming out when. I am not committing to finishing all 25 books in 25 days. I'm giving myself till the end of the month. I do have a few other things that I'm going to be reading during the month that I need to get to as well that are separate from this. So with that, a couple other things to talk to you about. In December, we will have the next live show for the Vampire Academy read-along. The live show for this one will be on Saturday, December 13th. So I do need to prioritize getting to the books. The books that we are reading this time are not the smallest. They are Vampire Academy Spiritbound and Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead. Wouldn't it be nice if my most recently Behold was one of these and it came up like the first week of December? That would be nice. I don't know. If I could manage to make one of these work with a prompt as it comes out, that would be lovely. But if not, obviously this is going to be a priority because they're not small. I mean, I've been reading each of the books in a single day up to this point. They're really easy binge reads, audiobook reads, etc. So yeah, this is the read along. If you're not familiar, that is being hosted by Sandra at Got a Thing for Things. I'm lucky enough to be a co-host for it with some amazing people. And these are the final 2 books for the first part of the series, and then we will be continuing on into Bloodlines. So if you do want to join in, there's always time. These are really easy to catch up with. I didn't actually grab the book for this, but I should also mention that I believe it's January 11th is what we're targeting for the live show for Faith Follow Along. This will be for book 3, A Time of Courage, which is the final book in the Blood and Bone saga by John Gwynne, and I'm super excited to read it. I think it's going to be a January read for me. I like to do it relatively last minute, but technically the reading months for this are November, December, so I did want to mention it. I, at some point, will figure out where I left my book when I unpackage the trilogy I bought, because I do definitely look forward to diving into this. And then lastly, in terms of buddy reads, my classics group on Instagram is doing The Night Before Christmas by Nicola Gogo, I think it is. I am struggling. That is a very low-key chat that we have on Instagram. If you're ever interested in joining in for us, we haven't figured out our 2026 schedule just yet, but I am looking forward to doing something nice and cozy for Christmas reading with them. In terms of other commitments, I'm trying not to overcommit myself too far. As you saw, I did fit some arcs into my prompt ball prompts. I am hopeful I can fit some more arcs in along the way as well. I do want to achieve the Buzzwordathon prompts this month. I haven't figured out the cover challenge yet, the monochromatic cover. I'm hopeful I can find a book to fit into one of the prompts as the month goes on, but for the title prompt, it's alliteration, and rules for ruin will definitely work for that. Other things I have in mind for some other things this month might work as well, but in one way, shape, or form, I definitely want to hit those prompts. I think with that, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap up our TBR here. It's going to be really interesting and chaotic and fun to kind of figure out what else I need to read as the month goes on. Hopefully I get a good balance with some of these shorter reads in between some of the chunky ones. I'm sure my prompt balls will make me read, but I'm looking forward to it, which always adds some extra motivation. I'm not currently planning on participating in any specific readathons or extensive readathons anyway, so that will also help give me some flexibility and give me room to just kind of mood read what I feel like in the moment as I get each prompt. Let me know in the comments below what you're looking forward to reading in December, or anything in general you're looking forward to in December. I'd love to hear all the things, and if you've made it this far and you don't have anything to comment, leave me a tree emoji to let me know you were here for my tree-shaped advent calendar, or just maybe a cross fingers to show you're adding some extra support in the hope that I will actually be able to pull the 25 prompts in 25-ish days off. If you could hit that like button below, I would surely appreciate it. Subscribe if you're interested in seeing my advent calendar prompts, the books that I pick, and my bookish content in general. But for now, I'll leave you here and see you real soon in a new video.